What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I am back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Riva. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It does not matter how you feel about this video. We all want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. And if you're new to this channel, you may not know, I never watch the video before I react to it. I literally just, get the video and I give you guys my honest feedback in real time. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this video.
Yeah. Rochelle, go ahead and unmute yourself. Yeah, this is why when I did that broadcast about the kind of women high value men avoid. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Rochelle. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What do you got for me?
Okay, so this is actually my first time listening to your show or watching your show. And I actually was having this conversation tonight with a friend of mine who sent me the link and everything. So I'm 38. And so I know you've had a lot of younger women on, but I'm 38. I am single. I have no children. So I know you were talking about when women get to that 40 plus range, it starts to go downhill. Luckily, I'm still fertile because when you get my age, you start to see a fertility doctor and make sure you're good.
Right.
But I guess my question to you would be for women that are over the age of 35 or like myself, approaching, 40 in 2 years, it is very difficult out here to find men that are really ready to settle down and take things seriously. I've met plenty of guys that are really great, but then they have these insecurity issues, or they're just
Okay,
still playing the field, or they're entertaining.
Shorten it up. You're 38 and you're ready to get married and you're good. But the problem is you can't seem to find a man that's ready to marry you.
I wouldn't say necessarily ready to marry me, but ready to at least be on that path.
Do you want to be married?
I do.
How long should it take a man to marry a woman? How long should it take a man before he knows he wants to marry a woman?
I think that most men probably know within 6 months to a year.
So you want to be married. So you want to be on that path because you're 38. What city are you in?
I'm in Chicago.
All right. So when I talk about no man's land, danger zone, and all those other things, I say it not to be pejorative. It's just the focus. Just because you're over 35 doesn't mean it's over. I mean, I know women that are that age. I've actually gone out with women that age. But it's different. It's different in the sense that what's the longest relationship you've ever
had? My longest relationship was 5 years.
How long ago was that? Hi, Jessica. Hi, Monique. I see you in there. 5 years. How long ago was that?
That was in 2017.
2017. 5 years. It ended in 2017?
Yes.
So you were from 2012 to 2017. Were you guys in the same city?
Yes.
Why didn't you guys get married?
He was a serial cheater. I mean, honestly.
You're one or you're 5?
In year 3.
So why'd you stay?
I think
Just curious.
No, I understand. I think that I had to do a lot of self-reflection in order to understand that after the relationship, and it was a lot of.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay.
You're trying.
I've got 4 more people. I need to kind of get through this. And that's fine. You don't spy. 3 years. People need to go through that process.
Yeah.
Just get rid of somebody. I get it. How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Dress size.
What's my dress size? Did you say my dress size?
Yes.
I'm a size 6 or 8.
Size 6 or 8. And how much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
I weigh myself every day, so I was 148 this morning.
Cool. Last question. If you had to give yourself a rating, just your face, fresh face right out of the shower, your natural hair, what would you give yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, and you cannot use 7?
Oh, I'm not going to use 7. I would give myself at least 8.95.
Okay. So around here, Beyonce is roughly an 8. Kelly Rowland's roughly a 9.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on the Kelly Rowland end of things.
Yes, I am.
All right. In the last 3 years, how many men have you had seriously wanting to date you?
What is this? 2020? Well, I had just gotten out of that relationship in 2017, so I've been on. Right, but when you go through something like that, you got to take some time.
No, you don't.
No, you do. If you've been in abusive relationships, you do have to take time.
Now this is not good. Okay, hold on now.
And if you are new to this channel, I just also wanted to say that I let the conversation get to a point where I can react before I just immediately start throwing out information that you guys don't even want to hear yet because there's no point to make. So that's the reason why you see me sitting here, because I'm waiting to have the conversation develop. That's just a quick disclaimer.
That's where you're at. That's your
I know where I am.
I'm just all right. Okay. Let me explain something. Okay, I'm nice to you if you're nice to me. I have no particular dog in the fight, but you can't talk over the host. The things
no, I'm not going to.
All right. So in the last 3 years, even after your detox from your relationship, what's the longest time you've dated anyone since your breakup?
3 months.
3 months. Had you guys gotten intimate?
Yes, we had.
Who ended it?
He did.
Do you happen to know why?
Yes. He was going through some personal issues that required therapy, so he said. I mean, I call bullshit. I don't know if people curse on your show, but I call BS on that. To me, it's like he just wanted to meet and he just wanted to screw. And then once he got what he wanted,
But you're 38 years old. You can have sex. You don't need to lie to you about it.
Right.
I mean, no, he doesn't have to lie to me about it, and I don't lie to other people about it.
So, who tends to end your relationships when you're since 2017? You or guys? Even in the casual dating. Okay. Now you said you've gone through therapy?
Yes. I'm still going through it.
Right. And what were you diagnosed? What did your therapist or your counselor say?
Anxiety and depression.
Yep. So is it an issue really that men aren't necessarily ready for what you're ready for?
I don't think that's necessary.
That's a really good point, because for the diagnosis of anxiety and depression, as I don't know if you know people that have anxiety or depression, but that's like two very hard issues for the person themselves to deal with. When somebody has anxiety, they're super anxious, they're like antsy all the time, they're always kind of like on 10, just kind of waiting for something to happen, just kind of like they have that adrenaline feeling, like that anxious feeling all the time, which is a lot. And then the depression feeling is the next feeling where somebody's super, emotional, or like they just get into a fog, and no matter what you do, you can't get them out of it. So with those two extremes, it's hard for somebody to probably commit in that kind of situation if they're not controlled, and unless they go through similar things like that and they can understand you. But even then, it's just kind of difficult for people to even interact with you, because sometimes people who go through things like anxiety or depression close themselves off emotionally from you. So I can see why he's saying, well, maybe it's not the men around you, maybe it's the fact that you probably need to do a little bit more work on yourself. And I could understand his sentiments if that's where he's going with it.
Really, that men are not necessarily ready. I mean, I think that I am taking this time now to process and heal the wounds that I have, so that I'm also ready. But I've just noticed that I don't know if I necessarily agree that you just have to stop cold turkey with meeting people and dating while you're going through.
I never said
therapy.
you had to stop cold turkey, man. But your relationship was over in 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going into relationships, are you going into them just casually, just saying, "Hey, I'm still in process, so I just want to keep this, very light because I'm not looking to get married because I'm still got some things going on with me."
No, I don't get that personal, when I'm first meeting somebody.
Then I don't understand. What is it? What's the outcome that you want to achieve? You want to get married, and you've been in therapy for how long?
Just a month, not long.
Oh.
Okay. I have to ask, if what you were saying happened was so traumatic, why did it take you 3 years before you, 2+ years before you started counseling?
I have a very public facing career, and I have moved quite a bit. In those 3 years, I've lived in 3 different cities. So I mean that was also part of it. But now I'm having time to kind of reflect. And then my father died in September. Okay. So all of that compounded
right,
is
so in 3 years. Okay, I'm going on what you said, that it was a traumatic relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And having a public facing career, celebrity stars, people get counseling all the time. It would have been wiser to do it back then, so we wouldn't just be, because you're only a month into it now.
Mm-hmm.
Time.
You're not ready.
Right. Okay.
And I'm telling you, in the interaction I'm having with you, you're editing yourself right now, but I can feel it. I can feel what you're doing.
How am I editing myself?
Look, man, I'm good at what I do. I don't have thousands of people watching me because I don't. But what I'm telling you, even if you're as attractive as you say you are, you will be difficult to date.
Why?
Kevin is so funny. He's like, look, ma'am. I'm not gonna do this. It's so funny, but yeah, because I mean, as we've seen in the 10 minutes of the video so far, like she's gotten snippy with him a little bit. She's kind of like over talked him. So he doesn't even know her at all. So he's just going off of this first initial conversation. So he's just making, an accurate assumption, because sometimes people do things and they don't even realize what they're doing. That's not making an excuse at all, but that's just, some people just act. They just act, react, say, do, and they literally have no idea what's actually going on or what they're doing, because they just live. They're not in control of the things that they're doing. So when somebody points it out to you, it might be a little shocking to hear at first, but sometimes it's good to take that information and take it into account and be like, is that something that I do? Is that something that I'm doing? And actually take the criticism so that you can, be better off in the future.
You're still broken.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go back and forth with me over some things, and I'm like, man, 5 years. And if it hurt that much, that means between 2017 and last month, the guys that you've interacted with were getting pieces.
Right.
So the problem isn't finding men who are ready to do whatever. Even if you met a perfect man, you're not whole enough to be a wife.
Wow.
Which is what I talk about often on this show. Professional, attractive, successful women whose relationship skills are completely unfit for the things they say they want. And it's because we have such a stigma in the black community about therapy. Mm-hmm. So we're the last people to go seek it. Then when we do go seek it, we don't want it to take as long as it does. And then the sad part is we start diagnosing everybody else when you're a novice in therapy. If you know you ultimately want to get married, the best thing to do is, when's the last time you saw your ex?
He came to my father's funeral, so in September.
Recent.
Is he in the same city?
No.
Okay. And when you date now, well, I have to ask, how do you get your itch scratched? Do you have an itch scratcher?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Does he know does he know he's an itch scratcher?
Yes. Yeah.
And he's been scratching your itch for quite a while.
Are you talking about my ex or?
No, I'm talking about the guy you're having sex with.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. Honestly, I thought you were actually talking about like a toy.
No. I mean a physical.
No, I don't. No, I'm not intimate with anybody.
When was the last time you were intimate with someone?
Last month. What is this number? Yeah, last month.
Okay, but all right, and that was okay. So you don't have a friend with benefit that who you can have sex with on a consistent.
I mean, I do, but they're just not in Chicago. But
oh wow,
I do.
Okay.
Oh wow.
It sounds very chaotic, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, that does sound chaotic because he asked if she had an itch scratcher. She said that she does. He asked, does the person know that they are an itch scratcher? No, sorry, it's a toy. What's the last person that you slept with? Oh, it's somebody last month. Oh, but I thought you don't have a friends with benefits. I do, but they don't live in my state. That does sound chaotic because how can you pursue somebody new if you have all that stuff kind of like going on? That does sound chaotic for sure.
It's not chaotic.
It's not.
Okay.
No, I think you're absolutely right when you talk about, being a whole woman and having broken pieces and things to fix, which is why I'm seeking the help. But my life is not chaotic.
Say that. Say you okay. Choose whatever word it fits. It just doesn't sound very simple. If you have someone that you have as a friend with benefits, somebody that's have sex with, but they're not in town.
But I don't need it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious to me.
But you have one, though.
So that's why I don't think that that's a complicated part of my life because it's not that necessary.
So sex is okay. So then why do you have a battery operated buddy if it's not that necessary?
I mean, the physical touch of a man is not that necessary for me to have to fly out to LA.
And thank you. Right there. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. The physical touch of a man is not that necessary because you have a battery operated buddy. And see, that's the brokenness, which is the chaotic part.
And that's something that I love these conversations because it leads to a bigger conversation because that's something that a lot of women go through, right? Like they can't find someone, then they get into this fad of like getting a lot of toys and stuff like that, and then they start realizing, or they have this epiphany, oh, I don't even need a man, I have my toy, I have, I can go do whatever I want, I don't have to have anybody that controls me or tells me what to do, I don't have to listen to anybody or be cooperative, and I can just keep my bad attitude. I can do everything that I want to do, and I'll have this toy, and I don't need the physical touch. And that's a huge issue. That's a huge issue because literally, like, you're literally in a relationship with yourself. Like, and I don't know if people think about it like that, but like you're literally just satisfying every desire that you have by yourself, and that's a problem because how can you be in a functional and happy relationship with somebody else because you're so used to giving yourself everything that you think that you want and you need and desire at every single moment that you want it. So it's going to be way harder to be cooperative with somebody else. It's going to be way harder to follow somebody's lead when you're doing all these things for yourself.
What I'm saying is
okay. All right. This could possibly get very messy. At the end of the day, ma'am, at 38 years old, the issue is not men. The issue is not men. The issue is not men, especially men in Chicago. You're in an international city. There are plenty of marriageable men that are damn sure are earning well. who are marriage minded. Excuse me?
I said there certainly are. I mean, I literally just moved here on Saturday.
Right. So, but I will tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, if you're, what kind of income do you want your potential husband to make?
Honestly, I've never been that much of a stickler when it comes to that.
Give me a ballpark. Just ballpark.
I would say maybe $200,000.
$200,000. Do you care if he has kids or not?
No, I mean,
okay.
At my age, I feel like men that I'm gonna meet that are older will likely have a.
Do you care how tall he is?
I mean, as long as he's maybe 5'9" and up.
How tall are you?
5'5".
5'5". All right. What percentage of men in this country earn over $200,000?
Jeez. Well, if we're talking black men,
nope, just men. Period.
Just men. Maybe 6%.
Right. So, and men who are making that kind of money, 6% roughly, they, for the most part, are the cream of the crop of financial earners.
Right.
They have their pick of the litter. So I asked the question. I asked the question of you that I asked all women. Why would a man who's earning $200,000 plus, who can have any woman, want you?
Well, I think that I would be coming in with also my own, 6-figure salary.
Don't give a shit about your money.
I know they don't, but I'm just saying I would be coming in with my own. So it's not like I'm coming to them with my money, but I know that I have
Rochelle, we don't care about your money or your careers or anything like that. I'm just being honest, ma'am. I get it. You have it, but it doesn't. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you, ladies, why this doesn't matter. Because you're not gonna. We don't have access to it anyway, and you ain't gonna be spending it on us. So your money doesn't.
Why would you say that?
Okay. Do women in general, who in general funds the relationship?
In general,
I would say men in general fund the relationship, but why would a woman not want to do for her man too?
Well, this is gonna be another problem, ma'am. What is your vertical, your career path? You don't have to tell me the exact title.
I work in higher education.
All right. Women typically don't spend money on men. Majority. Period. Point blank, end of sentence. I do very well for myself, and it's not a surprise. We laugh about how you can buy a Birkin bag over here, but they think they bought you a video game. It's something. Mm-hmm. What's the most you've ever spent on your man that's not a birthday, Christmas, or anniversary type gift, just on a Tuesday?
I spent, it was a Tumi bag that I bought for one of my exes, and it was like about $600.
$600. That ain't shit. I spent $600 at dinner. So I'm sorry, your 6-figure job and everything else don't mean shit to us, because your bag, the shoes that I bought you, was $600. I could pull $600 worth of shit and throw it at this camera right now. I'm in New York City, and anyway, $600. That's what I mean. I say that, man, because when I say stuff, you ladies want to push back and like, well, I make it. It don't matter if we don't have access.
I wasn't pushing back. I didn't even get a chance to answer. I say, ladies in general,
we don't have access. We don't have access to your money. We don't have access to your money, and we're not going to be able to spend it, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's just a point. And this happens a lot, very often when he gets into these conversations, just because some women just want something to say. They just want a response. So they just have to say, well, that's not true because I'll do this. And then when you really think about it, it's like, okay, if he's providing all the bills in the house and stuff like that on a monthly basis, and you buy him a bag that's $600, it doesn't equate. So there was literally no point into saying stuff like that, So I understand the frustration, just because sometimes it's just not about deflecting. Sometimes it's just about hearing and just being like, you know what, That's true. I need to take that and put that in my pocket and, again, take that into account.
So what else do you bring? What else? Like you said, why would he want you? And you were going to, outside of your money and your accomplishments, what else do you bring to the table?
I think that for me, I think that I'm a very, very supportive woman when it comes to, I know in my past relationships, when it comes to their dreams and their goals, I know that I am able to speak life into them. I'm extremely submissive in a sense. I actually, sometimes when you're in these senior roles as a woman and you're like this dominant figure all day long, it's nice to come home and be able to just be submissive. It's being submissive helps me to relax, honestly, in relationships.
So your 5-year relationship, did you live with him?
Yes, I did.
And he out earned you?
No, I out-earned him.
Say again?
No, I out-earned him.
Okay. Substantially?
Yes.
Did he go to college?
Did he or did I?
Did he?
No.
And where'd you graduate from?
Johns Hopkins.
You need to book 5 sessions.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave it right here, man, because you go. My website is bykevinsamuels.com. I don't want to do this right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Kevin.
Incredible.
That's nice. That's nice that he
Right.
did that because we know how that could have turned out, right? Like we know how Kevin can be. The fact that he's willing to have that, longer conversation and actually analyze the situation and give her some help, I think that's necessary. And obviously for the fact that she called in and gave all this information means that she knows that she needs the help and she's willing to kind of do some kind of work for it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.